It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Child sex offenders in Alabama may have a new price to pay in addition to serving time. A new bill would require them to cover the cost of being chemically castrated through hormone therapy prior to completing their sentence. Opponents say chemical castration is a form of cruel and unusual punishment, and that the drugs have significant irreversible effects. So DBL Nation, should child sex offenders be chemically castrated? Let's get right to their comments, Brandon.
All right, Marco from YouTube says, what happens if there is some unknown side effect? Would the state be liable? Hey, Marco, thanks for writing in, buddy, but I'm not worried about a side effect to a pedophile. What I'm worried about is the side effects of the young kids whose adolescence and youth they just taken. What about those side effects? So I'm all up for this.
Jennifer from Facebook says, if someone doesn't want to be castrated, I guess they can stay in prison for the rest of their life. Seems fair to me, considering the disgusting crime they committed. Jennifer, I understand how you feel. It's interesting that they use the term cruel and unusual for the pedophile, but not for the actual act, because that's something that a lot of people never recover from. And it is cruel and unusual to be sexually assaulted as a child or anyone. So I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Stuart from Facebook says, good. I'm surprised Alabama is not physically castrating them. I don't understand that at all.
Meaning physically,
like
chopping.
Oh,
yeah.
Now I understand.
This is a pill that they would take, and it's like hormone therapy. It decreases their sex drive.
Stuart, I'm with you. Trust me, I'm with you, because if someone did that to my son, I'm with you 100% here, Stuart. But if you do that to children, something's wrong with you, right? And if something's wrong with you mentally, whatever it may be, if you're schizophrenic or you have anxiety, you take a pill to help you out, right? Why wouldn't we force this pill on somebody that has something wrong with them?
Yeah, hey, I'm all for it. Gregory from Facebook says, altering someone's body chemistry seems like a really slippery slope, if you ask me. Now, Gregory, I hear you, and I'm not one for government overreach, especially when it comes to one's bodies, but we have found out through studies that child pedophiles and sex offenders, they have a really high chance of recommitting those same crimes. So therapy has not worked for them. So if this can work for them, hey, I'm more worried about the lasting effects on those victims and those children, and this is one way to curb it in a very ethical way, in my opinion. I know it's not perfect, but again, it's supposed to be painless, and hey, if that was my daughter, I would want this.
Absolutely. Let's get this last one in. Nancy from Facebook says, instead of physically harming people's bodies, why don't they mandate therapy?
It doesn't work.
Nancy, I look at this as a form of therapy. Like, these people are getting urges to go and commit a heinous crime against our little brothers, our little sisters, our nieces and nephews. So if this is a way we can stop that urge or suppress that urge, that is a form of therapy, and I'm all up for it.
There's actually been a number of pedophiles and offenders out there that have come forward saying that they wish that there could be some sort of treatment because they don't want those urges either. They don't want to live with those urges. Yeah. So I think hearing from them is also really interesting, because if they want to prevent themselves from doing it, I think this is a no-brainer, is it not?
Yeah.
Although, Erica, what if someone is wrongfully convicted?
Well, I mean, that's where we always go to, because when we talk death penalty, any corporal punishment, we're thinking of people who are sitting in there for absolutely no reason. But to me, it seems as though when you're talking about someone who's a pedophile, that this is a behavior that isn't necessarily something like you were accused of doing this. It seems like it's a rampant behavior. Yes. I'm for chemical castration.
And remember, this can be reversed. This isn't the death penalty. Like, once you die, you're dead. This can be reversed once you get that person off that chemical.
Yep. All right, fair enough. Thank you for writing in.